Hello, today I'm going to talk about water pollution. Why is water pollution? Let's start with some questions. What is water? How many days a person can survive without water? What is water quality? What is water security? Keeping in mind the importance of water, let's take a glimpse look at the water quality in Saskatchewan. The water security is responsible for water management in Saskatchewan. As shown in the graph, water quality has changed over time between 2018 to 2020. And as you can see, Saskatchewan is currently under excellent water quality. But what about other countries? Unfortunately, an estimated 1.5 billion people lack access to clean water. This results 3.6 million deaths every year, mostly among children. A lack of safe, clean drinking water is still the largest crisis facing people around our world today. Water is the liquid that makes life on Earth possible. As water cycles from the air to the land to the sea and back again, water shapes our planet. At least 60% of adult body is made of water. A human can go without food for about 2 weeks, but won't be survived without water. All living things, from tiny creatures to huge whales, need water to survive. Life exists wherever there is water. What is water pollution? Water pollution is the contamination of water sources by substances that make the water unusable for drinking, cooking, cleaning, swimming, etc. The most common types of water contamination is agriculture, wastewater, oil pollution, or radioactive substances. In this chapter, I'm going to talk about the water crisis. How much water is there in the world? How much of the water in the world drinkable? How many people in the world do not have access to clean water? Responding to these questions emphasize the importance of talking about water crisis. How many children die every day because of drinking unusable water? And in this chapter, I'm going to talk about the effects of water pollution. I categorized the effects of water pollution in two sections: effects on human health, effects on environment. Water pollution caused 1.8 million deaths in 2015. Even swimming can pose a risk. Every year, unsafe water gets sick about 1 billion people. The stimulation and plant growth reduces oxygen level in the water. And solid debris, plastic bag, and garbages are responsible for harming more than 200 different species of marine life. Now, what actions can be taken to prevent water pollution? With your actions or with your voices? Learning about water where you live. Reduce your plastic consumption as much as you can, or don't flush your old medications. Properly dispose of chemical cleaners or oils. Or with your voices, speak out in the support of Clean Water Act. In this chapter, I'm gonna introduce you to the United Nations water. which this nation talks about global water security, and they have an agenda about this. They categorize the water security in 4 categories. I mean, drinking water, ecosystem, or climate change. I mean, water related hazards and climate change, and also the economic activities and development. They say the capacity of the population to safeguard sustainable access to adequate quantities of acceptable quality water for sustaining livelihood, human well-being, for ensuring protection against water pollution. And finally, I'm going to talk about curriculum connections. I found some curriculum connections regarding water crisis, but I think the best thing I found was Environmental Science 2, grade 11, which directly talk about water crisis and water problems. They are, I mean, in the outcome ES20-AS1, they talk about conditions of the freshwater aquatic system, such as rivers or lakes, and in the next outcome, they talk about the importance of maintaining healthy water for humans. And at the end, I'm going to talk about some educational approaches about water pollutions. According to my research, I found 4 strands that they have different attitudes toward water issues. And for example, in strand 1, questionings and analysis and interpretation skills matters, and students are asked to ask good questions and hypotheses about world around them. It makes the students to think critically. And strand 2 also talk about the environmental process and systems. The students develop an understanding of how change in one system results in changes in another. And in strand 3 also learners develop and apply concept-based learning and skills for inquiry and actions. They also understand that what they do individually and in groups can make a difference. At the end, I'm gonna say thank you for your attention and thank you for your listening.